everybody, and welcome to the first webinar on introducing Reliance Foundation postgraduate scholarships and application walkthrough. We are delighted to have with us some of the best and the brightest students from around the country joining us virtually tonight. We have a great set of speakers also who have joined us today to explain the process to us in detail. Myself, Ayushi, your host and moderator for the evening, will take you through this entire evening along with a set of speakers. But before we start, let's just set the scene by watching a very short video on the Reliance Foundation postgraduate scholarships.
It was yesterday we were trying to connect the world. Today, we have got the world in our hands. Yesterday, we were finding out what is in our genes. Today, we are editing what is in our genes. Yesterday, we were trying to eliminate waste. Today, we are making energy out of it. A lot has changed and will change in the time to come. For this, we need change makers like you. Change makers who can think big, think green, and think digital. The Reliance Foundation Postgraduate Scholarships aim to nurture these future leaders of tomorrow.
Reliance Foundation scholarships will provide up to ₹6 lakh each for up to 100 bright minds for their postgraduate course. Students pursuing their studies in computer science, artificial intelligence, mathematics and computing, electrical and electronics engineering, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, renewable and new energy, material science and engineering, or life sciences, and have scored anywhere between 550 to 1000 in their GATE examinations or a CGPA of 7.5 or above in their undergraduate examinations can apply. To apply, log into scholarships.reliancefoundation.org and follow the simple process. First, fill out the eligibility questionnaire on our website. Then, complete the application form on our application portal. After this, you will be invited to complete an aptitude test. Then, a preliminary selection process will shortlist candidates, and these candidates will be screened through a virtual interview. And finally, up to 100 meritorious students will be announced. 100 students, 100 ideas, 100 possibilities.
We have with us Kyron Roderick, lead Reliance Foundation Scholarships Program. Thank you, Kyron, for being with us.
Thank you, Aishi, and a very warm welcome to everyone who's joined us here today. Looking forward to this interaction.
Once again, a very warm welcome to everyone who has joined us today. Reliance Foundation has always believed in the power of education to create a new India, and it aims to provide India's youth with the best of the opportunities to learn and grow in the future. In 2023, Reliance Foundation Postgraduate Scholarships Program will support 100 of the India's brightest postgraduate students with a generous grant amount and also a strong development program nurturing future leaders who can think big, think green, and think digital for the benefit of the society. The Reliance Foundation Postgraduate Scholarships aim to nurture world-class students that will help power India's new era of growth. And for this, it's going to identify the best and the brightest students through a very rigorous and selective competition process. So also we have been receiving a lot of questions over our email and chatbot and the helpline number. So we intend to tackle all these questions during the session in order to you have all the information by the end of it. So we request the students to please type the questions in the comments box and we will answer them at the end of the session. Now I invite Kyron to tell us a bit more about Reliance Foundation scholarships and how it is going to play a pivotal role in shaping India's future.
Thank you, Ayushi. So Reliance has been providing scholarships to meritorious students for over 25 years now. Inspired by Reliance Foundation scholarship programs have impacted the lives of 13,000 youth across India. The scholarship programs are part of Reliance Foundation's ongoing focus to develop and improve access to world-class education from early childhood to higher studies. The Reliance Foundation schools provide quality education to 14,000 students every year. The Dhirubhai Ambani scholarships have provided 12,707 world-class multidisciplinary higher education and research institutions. Education is at the core of Reliance Foundation's work, with the belief that developing and empowering young leaders of tomorrow with skills, knowledge, and opportunities will build a stronger India. For the academic year 2022-23, Reliance Foundation will be awarding up to 5,000 merit-cum-means undergraduate scholarships and up to 100 merit-based postgraduate scholarships, both for the entire duration of study. Both Reliance Foundation scholarships will aim to nurture and empower meritorious students and will work together to generate a robust, vibrant, and engaged alumni network, enabling scholars to pursue higher education and emerge as young professionals and drive India's growth.
Thank you so much, Kairin. I'm sure like students are already very excited to look forward to the evening and just know the details of the program. So we'll start with a detailed application and selection process. But before we do that, let's quickly watch a video on the general tips to apply to the Reliance Foundation Postgraduate Scholarships Program.
Hi everyone, I'm here to give you some tips and tricks to get your application ready before the deadline. First, I want to talk about the application process. You will need to fill the eligibility questionnaire on our website www.scholarships.reliancefoundation.org. If you are eligible, you will receive an email invitation with OTP details to apply through the application portal. You can then go ahead and fill out the application form, which is made up of the following components: personal and contact information, 2 reference letters, academic and professional information, 2 essays, achievements and awards, and supporting documents. I wanted to give you some tips on preparing and submitting your supporting documents. Review the FAQs and guidance to applicants on our website and make a checklist of all required documents. Start collecting and uploading the documents right away. Don't wait for the last day. Review each document after you upload to ensure it has been uploaded successfully. And finally, here are our top 3 tips on submitting your application on time. Set aside some time each day to work on your application. Set a deadline for yourself even before the final deadline. Make a checklist of all application components and plan accordingly. And remember, you can always text hi on WhatsApp at 7977 100 100 with any questions or email us. Good luck with your applications.
That video was really very informative. And while it's always good to, see a video and understand things, it's best to know from the person themselves. So now I'll invite Moksha, our very Reliance Foundation Scholar of Cycle 2 from 2021 and 22. And to give just a brief introduction about her, as I mentioned, she's pursuing her MTech in Computer Science and Automation from IIC Bangalore. She has done her graduation from a government college in Gujarat, and then she got a very impressive GATE score, which helped her land in her dream college. Currently, she got placed at Wells Fargo as a program associate. So many congratulations to you, Moksha, for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, starting with you, Moksha, I just want you to tell all the students that which subjects are, eligible for the students to apply in order to the Reliance Foundation Postgraduate Scholarships Program.
Okay, so the fields like computer science, artificial intelligence, mathematics and computing, electrical or electronics engineering, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, renewable energy, material science and engineering, and life sciences are all eligible to apply for the scholarship this year.
Thank you so much, Moksha. Going ahead, I also request you to explain which eligible which students are actually eligible to apply, and what is the eligibility criteria for this year?
Okay, for that, they first need to fill out the registration form on the website in order to verify that they are eligible, and then post that they will be invited to apply through the application portal. And they should be resident Indian citizens currently enrolled in the first year of an eligible full-time postgraduate degree program in any institution across the country. And students who secured a score of 550 or above, so in the gate examination, or if they didn't take the gate examination, then a score of 7.5 or above in their undergraduate CGPA are all eligible to apply.
Thank you, Moksha. So now when students know that which are the eligible subjects and what is the eligibility criteria, I would request you to throw some light on the scholarship values. What are these scholarship values? Why are they important? And how did you focus on them while writing your own application?
Sure. So I think the values of excellence, leadership potential, integrity, community commitment, growth mindset, and courage are aligned towards working for the broader vision of building a stronger and more inclusive India. So it's good if one's application is in alignment with the scholarship values. From my personal experience, I would say that make sure you showcase all your academic achievements, industrial experience, if any, event from your life that can depict your leadership qualities, growth mindset, community commitment, or your beliefs in general. Also, one can mention extracurriculum involvement, which is in line or relevant with the above mentioned values. So, these are few of many ways.
Thank you so much, Moksha. That's really helpful. We also learned from the website that this year there is going to be an aptitude test in order for the applicants to consider their application submitted. So before we do a deep dive, let's watch a general tips to the aptitude test video.
Hello, I hope the application process has been going well so far. I'll discuss the next stage of your application process, the aptitude test, to make the rest of your experience seamless. So, let's get started. After submitting the application form, you will be assigned a date and time slot for the test by the system. The aptitude test is designed to test your mental skills, including verbal ability, analytical and logical ability, and numerical ability. The verbal ability test checks your understanding and depth of knowledge of the English language. The analytical and logical ability test examines how you analyze a problem, identify the root cause, and provide solutions. The numerical ability test analyzes your reasoning skills to interpret, analyze, and solve mathematical problems. Now, here's a checklist for you before you take the test. Make sure you have a stable internet connection. Use broadband, LAN, Wi-Fi, or cable fiber net. Avoid mobile hotspot or USB tethering. Use modern web browsers like Chrome, Edge, Firefox, etc. on your laptop or PC. Tests attempted via mobile phone will not be considered valid. Keep a government-issued ID-proof document ready in which your photograph and name are clearly visible. Finally, here are some do's and don'ts during the test. All students will be given an opportunity to attempt a practice test so that they can familiarize themselves with the test. If you have any questions, simply text hi on WhatsApp number or email us. Good luck with your application.
This video was really very informative. But Kyron, please can you tell us a bit more about the aptitude test, please?
Sure, Aishi. So once you have submitted your application form, you will get to choose between two dates for the test. Currently, it's 18th and 19th of February. Once you choose the date, the time slot will be automatically assigned to you. This date and time slot will be sent to you on the confirmation email, and it will also reflect on the application dashboard. Now, once you get assigned the date and time, these cannot be changed under any circumstances. So please choose the date wisely when you are doing so. You will receive the link to the test, the aptitude test on email 1 week prior to the date of the aptitude test. This email will also have a link to a practice test so that you can familiarize yourself with the system. You will also be able to access these links on the application dashboard. Now, about the aptitude test, it's going to be a multiple choice exam, non-adaptive. It's going to be proctored both by AI as well as human proctors. And these scores will be just one of the components that will be used for evaluation of the candidates. Each student will have 60 minutes to complete the test. The test will have three sections: verbal, analytical and logical, and numerical. Each section will be for 20 minutes. For specially able students, they're going to get 30 extra minutes to complete the test. That is 10 minutes extra for each section. And like I said, all questions are multiple choice questions.
Thanks, Kyron. That's really helpful. Any personal tips from your end in order to give the aptitude test?
Yeah, so definitely give the practice test. You will get the link a week before the actual date of the aptitude test. When you're doing that, you can check the internet connectivity and any other issues that you might face so that you're well prepared for the aptitude test. And don't worry about the aptitude test. It's not a test of knowledge. Uh, I mean, the idea is not to test, the student's knowledge. So don't worry about that while giving the test.
Thanks, Kyron. I'm sure students shouldn't worry to give the aptitude test. There is a practice test available. You should definitely give that. Coming to you, Moksha, please can you tell us a bit more in detail about the application and selection process?
Yes, so student need to first fill out the registration form on the website www.scholarships.reliancefoundation.org, pgscholarship.aspx, and eligible students will then be invited to apply through the application platform.
Thanks, Moksha. Can you please also tell us what does the application consist of and any basic tips to get it ready in time from your own personal experience?
Yeah, so application form basically consists of following sections: personal or contact information, two reference letters, which is very important from an application perspective, and then followed that it's academic or professor information, and then is awards and achievements, and then is two essays, which is again very important from an application point of view, and the last is supporting documents. So this session will focus on the essays and reference letters, broadly speaking, and these are the two most important and also time consuming sections of your application. So to get your applications ready in time, I will say that set aside some time each day to work on your application, and don't wait for a final deadline of 14th February. Complete your application well before, because being a student, I can say from my experience that at this point of time you have multiple things to handle: assignments, exams, classes, and much more. So plan wisely, and you can make a checklist of all the application components and then plan accordingly.
Thank you, Moksha. I'm sure students are taking notes already because, yeah, they shouldn't wait for the last deadline to apply and they should make a checklist. And also, considering so many deliverables and submission of assignments at the same time, it's always better to strategize and structure the application. Thank you, Moksha. Coming to you, Kyron, we know that there are supporting documents, as Moksha mentioned. So, what are these documents that students need to prepare, and any tips on those?
Sure. So the student will have to submit documents such as the address proof, a passport size photograph, the current resume, all the academic mark sheets or transcripts, and admit proof of their current institution. This can be in the form of a bona fide certificate or a student ID. This document should basically contain the student's name, the name of the institute, the year in which the student is studying, and the name of the program. Now, in case a student doesn't have one document that encompasses all these details, the student can scan or merge two documents together and submit this. And there are some other documents only if applicable, such as experience certificates or letters of work experience, disability certificate if applicable, and a copy of the mark sheet. A few tips that I would like to give to the student is one, definitely review the FAQs and the guidance to applicants on our website to make a checklist of all the documents that is required. Start collecting the documents right away and upload them. Do not wait for the last minute or for the last day to do this. And the students also have an option to review each document after they have uploaded. So I would encourage students to review the document, make sure that it has been uploaded correctly, it's the right document, and then submit the application.
Thank you, Kairin. That's really helpful. I think definitely students should review their documents once they're submitted to ensure that we haven't added wrong document to the wrong section. We also learned, Kairin, that it is mandatory for the students to get hold of their transcripts from previous institutions and also official documents. So, what is your advice for the students who are sort of encountering delays in getting hold of those required documents?
But my advice to them would be provide whatever proof they have for now. For example, if they don't have a copy of the official transcripts from their institutes, upload the mark sheets which have all the semester marks on them. In case a student doesn't have an internship letter from an organization that they interned at, then they can upload an email confirming the internship. Uh, we may ask for the student to provide the proof later on if they are selected for the scholarship. However, my advice to them now is to apply whatever they have.
That's really very helpful. I'm sure now students will not worry a lot about the transcripts and the documents, and they'll start preparing right away and would not wait for the last moment. So, this is how the application process actually looks like. Now, let's just take a very quick glance at the selection process as well. So, Kairin, what happens once the scholars submit their applications?
Right, so the scholarship application goes through multiple rounds of evaluation. First, as soon as the scholar submits the application form, the next step would be to attempt the aptitude test on the date and time that has been assigned to them. This will be followed by a first level of evaluation for a select number of students. From after the evaluation round, there will be a further shortlist of students that will move to the interview round, which will be conducted by an expert panel of academicians and experts in the field, post which the final selection of scholars will be made. As a reminder, all scholars will be selected on the basis of merit, and this entire process will be virtual this year.
Sounds super interesting, and I think yes, it needs preparation because the selection process also has a lot of stages. So students should just be ready and start applying right away. Last question to you, Moksha, is from your interview experience of last year. How can the students best prepare for the interviews, and if you can just share some of your personal experience on that?
Yeah, so I had really great experience, and it was very smooth interview process. I just believed in a process and gave my best shot at every level of evaluation. So yeah, I'll say that don't worry about the end result and just believe in the process. And I would like to add that there will be a special webinar session for the shortlisted students to give them more tips on how to prepare. That will include communication techniques as well as the types of questions they should prepare for. So, do attend that webinar.
Thank you, Moksha. Yes, you're absolutely right that students should not really think about the process, but then give their best. That would help. So, thank you, Moksha, and thank you, Kairin. Now, we'll invite the speakers of today evening once we have understood the application and selection process in detail. I'm sure the students are patiently waiting to hear from the speakers themselves. Let's start with Mithika. So, Mithika, as we all know that you are really passionate about solving real world problems, and your work range into diverse fields of engineering and management and development, and also sustainability. So, what, according to you, are the technological breakthroughs in renewable and new energy engineering, and what do you see as that one major aspect of alignment for acceleration in the green energy industry?
Right. So thank you, Ayushi. Thank you for having us here. It's honestly very refreshing to see scholarships being offered for what used to be considered a niche, right? So yes, new energy is certainly one of the things that I would say used to be a niche and is now so mainstream that I think everyone at any stage in their career is dying to be a part of this revolution. Um, I've been in the sustainability space for 11 years, and I can say that the technological changes in the new energy space and in the sort of the energy transition space will keep evolving as it has for solar. For example, for solar, it's very easy to see decentralized solar become mainstream now, even though it's been around for a little over 40 years, right? But for us to be able to use decentralized solar as seamlessly as we are using our phones, there's a huge, huge way to go. Right. So I wouldn't say that it is any one technology that you need to focus on. I would say for any one technology that you are extremely passionate about, you need to understand the entire journey and how you plan on getting it to the very end. The same thing is far more technical if you're looking at hydrogen value streams, for example. And if somebody is very passionate about wind and hydrogen or wind and hydro, that's a whole other segment that you can get into. But I think even when you talk about technology, it can be very easily split across technology as a hardware, technology as a software, the digitization revolution, and all of it comes within the gambit of new energy and renewables, right? And the final bit of consumer interaction, right? So how is any technology, which is the social aspect of the science, how is any technology transforming lives? How is the technology of your choice also going to change an ecosystem, and how are you preparing that community to adapt to that change in ecosystem? Right, so there's as much, while you're studying science, there's as much of sociology involved, as much of an art involved, if I can say that, and of course a little sensitivity training, cultural training, a bunch of other things that come with what engineering teaches you at the core, which is logical thinking or creative problem solving.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Matika. I think that really, helps us understand and think over the fact that yes, engineering is not mainstream. Engineering today, like we used to have once. Now it's a lot about technology, social aspect of technology. So I'm sure, like not only students from renewable and new energy engineering, but all the streams of engineering who have joined us today, they are absolutely inspired by your career trajectory, and would like to have something as diverse and dynamic going forward. So thank you so much, Mitika, for that.
You're too kind with your work, Ayushi.
Thanks, Ritika. So, starting with you, going forward, Mr. Durai Swami, my next question is, we all know that material is important and the world has started to understand that too. So, what are the big trends in material sciences according to you currently, and how AI is being used to power the future of material sciences?
Thanks, Ayushi. So this is actually we are living in a very interesting arena of the new world. So the new world, we know this is an exponential growth happening based on the exponential technology such as AI, the artificial intelligence. So now, if we look at it, the material science itself reinvigorates into this phase. The last century material science and what we do now are really different. So the classic examples are lithium ion battery, so energy storage, and then also you use material called graphene, which has more than 20 properties, a super material. And also you have another arm, which is a perovskite solar cell, as Mithika was telling. It's an energy, solar cell is used in the energy generation. So this is kind of new concepts are emerging out, and that's one side. So the other side, in turn, the AI also helping the material science, the other way around, where the periodic table, every one of you may be knowing, the students, this is a big deal when we study in a very small classes. Then if you look at it, that what kind of permutation combination you make, that's going to be the material, right? And in a simple sense, if you do, there are the millions of possibilities which you can do with it. And the AI really generate a database based on that, a millions of combination of these elements as a new materials. So the scientist going to do a deep learning. So it may be an interesting thing. A data scientist say a deep learning is different from a scientist going to do a deep learning part of it. So AI plays a big role. And they complement each other. The next device, which is a super computing device could be a quantum computer, which is made out of a graphene or a new material. So material science enables the modern exponential technology, as well as they get back what they want also from the other side. So it's very interesting, and I would say it's a great time we are living.
Thank you so much, Mr. Swami. I'm sure these are interesting times because there was once a time period when we just used to talk, about few subjects of engineering, and now there is so much of fluidity, right? We see so many fields merging into each other and very new, aspects of technology merging even with the society. So thank you so much for throwing light on that. Coming to you, Andre. We have learned about you that you are really passionate about product management, but also that you yourself are a UGC scholar. So, what role, according to you, scholarships play in a student's life, and how did it help you in shaping your career?
Sure. Thank you so much, Ayushi, for having me. Scholarships, I would say they play three critical roles. Firstly, it provides a financial relief, and that is a huge relief for the students. They get that bandwidth, that easiness to take certain decisions while they are in their college life or while they are studying. Secondly, it marks as a permanent stamp on their resume when they translate their CV to resume. And you are a scholarship holder and prestigious scholarship like Reliance Foundation scholarship holder. It is a permanent mark that you have excelled, you will excel, and that is also one of the values for Reliance Foundation scholarship holders. And third, at a very personal level, once you become a scholarship holder, you always want to do things in a better way. You always want to improve. You want to do things in a way, you want to take that extra mile, and that somehow happens with you. And these are actually the qualities that your potential employers will look for your future engagement. In my case, when I got the PG Merit Scholarship from Government of India, it happened at a very critical juncture in my life. That financial support that I received, it really helped me and allowed me to settle down in Mumbai very smoothly. So that happened back in 2012. Like I mentioned, the benefits that it otherwise attaches to anybody's career. Similarly, it affected my career. Wherever I applied in in colleges, because I also did some parallel degrees while I was working, or my employers, it was always a distinguisher. Okay, she is a scholarship holder, so that kind of a thing. It was always there with me, and personally, even today when I send out emails, I always double check it. I read it. I do not make spelling mistakes. I check for the grammatical errors. That kind of excellence initially I used to strive for. I used to try work hard for. Now it just comes naturally to me. It has become a force of habit that I need to bring these qualities to the table. And a beautiful part of being a scholarship holder is it is going to go down in the legacy of your family, that so and so, my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, father was a scholarship holder, and it will always be there. So the impact the scholarship can have on your life is actually seamless. So this is all I have to say about the scholarship. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Andre. That's such a powerful thought. I'm sure like this brings in so much of perspective for all our students, and I believe they're just taking notes because they have got an opportunity to hear from all of you. And of course, it brings about legacy. It helps not only just financially, but as you mentioned, it's about excellence. That's also one of our scholarship values. So thank you so much for drawing attention to that.
Thank you.
Moving forward, I would actually ask a few more questions to our speakers today because it's just getting so interesting. Starting with you, Mithika, what is that one thing, according to you, which one should learn at an early stage in their careers?
I think hard work has no substitute. But having said that, I would stress on spending a little extra time in the early stages of your career to understand the ground realities to the more grim details of any aspect of work that you're working on. Don't just go for what seems exciting for you. Understand the root cause of the problem. Understand, get into depths. If you have to go to sites, spend like weeks there to try and understand what is going on. You have the flexibility to do so. Please do it. Don't shy away from it. If you have the flexibility to travel and if you have the resources to be able to do so in order to try and actually resolve the problem. Take that extra effort, put in the hard work, put in the number of extra hours. It'll definitely be worth it later on. When your back starts hurting and you cannot travel, you will thank me that you've heard this beforehand.
Thank you so much, Mitika. That actually really helps. I'm sure, like, along with your academics, how much it is important to, absolutely pay attention to the world around us and be a part of it equally. So I'm sure, yeah, students should definitely take notes today. Coming to you, Mr. Durai Swami, what would you suggest to the students who are thinking of working in new age startups, and what kind of skill sets they should work on to develop the same?
So the first point is like we have to create a user inspired products. So it means the definition I have, the user receive a wow, right? That type of product. So to create those type of product, you need a breakthrough innovations. So breakthrough innovations, what it means. So everybody ask this simple question. So we expect that there is a need to connect fundamental understanding, that means the science and engineering of fundamental understanding, connecting to the product attribute. If you closely look at any of those marvelous engineering devices or any of the materials, anything you look at it, the product which you use, so they have literally connect between a fundamental understanding and also to the product attributes. So examples are smart roads, interacting textiles. So you wear a coat which talk to the another guy, connected with the antennas and things like that. So this connected world created by the startups. So startups plays an important role. So what we expect, or everybody expect from the students, is to have a very strong fundamental understanding. So it's simple. So if you go through your colleges and the undergraduate courses so well, and you will know what it is, and then with a lot of imagination to connect them to the products which you envision, and then this connect will eventually lead to the breakthrough innovations. So I would say, apart from this, a couple of more things one should know. That one is think big. So it's a global part of it you are, and then also think, do a design thinking, which is end as a first, so that you can quickly make it happen. Of course, what Mithika said, hard work is, there is no substitute for it. And then, of course, there is an early failure. So if it failed first, be very happy, because you will end up in a big success. So that's an also important attribute. And of course, you need to be a team player to do all these things. So see, all these things put together, you have a creative design skills which enable you to make the startups.
Thank you so much, Mr. Durai Swami. I'm sure you actually hit it right that there is no substitute for hard work, as Mithika said, and also one should never fear failures, especially at the early stage of their careers. Going ahead with you, Andre, my question would be, what do you think particularly that students should focus on while making a career choice, considering there are so many options in today's time?
Sure. So, when I think of career choice, the subject choice that we make in our graduation, post graduation, I try to decouple that from the career choice that is eventually that we end up doing in the entirety of our lives. So, the most important thing that what strikes me now is, after the experiences and some bumpy ride of life, is that whatever career choice you make, ensure that you have the aptitude for that. We are now driven by passion, and there is a lot of cliche things going on around that follow your passion and do this and go for the calling of your heart and all those things. But ultimately, when reality and life hits, it's your career that can actually rescue you. So you have to put in effort, you have to take due diligence, and you have to categorize your aptitude as a very important variable in deriving your career. And now, when we look at the times that we are in, we are a generation which is better resourced, we are most connected, we are extremely well informed, and this is the best that would have happened in the history. So we should capitalize on all these information that we have, take informed decision. Do not rush into, just because my friends are doing that or my society is expecting me to that. Do not get into all those things. It is a very, very personal, very private decision that you will eventually make in your life, where your career, what your career is to be, and how you want to shape that career. So do not get swayed away, because even if we make jumps in the career, like from engineer I become an advocate and all those things, but like I said, the subjects and the career that you take, eventually after that, whatever you do will be connected to each other. So a very good example I would want to quote is of Mrs. Falguni Nair. She is the CEO and founder of Nika. So how we look at it is, she retired from an industry and got into entrepreneurial venture. But the background is she was into beauty and makeup and fashion. So she had that thing in her, and then that led her to launch Nika. So what the point that I want to make here is, there is not going to be 180-degree or 90-degree changes in your career choices in life when life gets serious. Whatever decision you want to make that, take that informed decision and utilize all the information that you have, because we are the luckiest generation that could have been ever. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andre. That's very, very impactful. I think, yes, you absolutely said it right, that basically own your choice. It's your choice.
Yes.
If you make a choice, you need to own it. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Kritika, Mr. Srinivasan, and Andre for joining us today and giving your such valuable thoughts for all us students who have joined us. Now, I would request students, if you have any questions for the experts, please write them in the comments box so we can answer them. And also to finish, I'll request each and every one of you who have joined us today on the screen to give advice to the applicants as they write their applications. So here I'll start with you, Mithika.
All the best for the applications. Don't worry, and I think I'll pick up from where Andrea left off. Don't worry about societal pressures. Don't worry about who's expecting what from you. It's your choice. The scholarship is going to give you the freedom that you need to be able to pursue it. So focus on you and your process, and don't worry about all the other negative externalities.
Thank you so much. I hope students are making the most out of this session. Next, yes, please, Mr. Duraiswamy.
I would say that you guys be happy and joyful. That then only you can activate your creative mind, and you can go through. As I said already, hard work and big think big as a global part of a global player. And the most important fact here is that you need to retain your individual excellence. At the same time, you have to work as a team. So then only you will see the success. So with all these things put together, you will definitely win. And good luck to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Duraiswamy. Over to you, Andre.
Yes. So one very important advice that I would give, apart from the application process, also for the life, because we are facing youngsters who are at the threshold of their respective lives and careers, is always maintain integrity in whatever you do. And because once you keep climbing the rungs of the career ladder, at some time it will be your development skills which will take you higher. At other points, it will be your communication skills, your writing skills, etc. But integrity is non-negotiable, and as long as you hold on to it, you stick to it, life will be absolutely fair to you. So when you're 45, 50, you will not be able to say that life was unfair. It will be fair to you. So keep doing your hard work, maintain your honesty to yourself and to your people around you, and write down all these things in your application also, because integrity is another value that we are expecting from the applicants and the aspirants. So go for it. It's an amazing opportunity, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Andre. Now over to Moksha. Moksha, according to your personal experience, what advice you would want to give to all the students?
Yeah, so first is complete your application early so that you will get decent time to review your application, and do give the aptitude test, as this is very important step of the application process. And start writing your essays right away, and arrange your reference letters early. So start building your profile also, which would ultimately help you during your interviews. And once you are selected, apart from the monetary benefits, there are other perks like the chance to attend the talks and workshops with leading global experts, opportunities to apply for mentoring, internships, volunteering opportunities, a strong alumni network, of course, and more. So keep yourself motivated during the entire process and don't worry for the end result right now. And if I can do, every one of you can. So all the best, everyone. And you can reach out to me for any concern or query. Would love to have. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Moksha. That was so wholesome. Thank you so much. I'm sure students are absolutely ready to apply and they are very much inspired by our absolutely lovely panel of speakers today. So, ending with you, Kyron, last few pieces of advice for the students today.
So my key advice to the students would be to when you're submitting an application, you've got to make yourself stand out from the rest of the students. We get a lot of applications, and one easy way to do this is to get good reference letters and talk about yourself honestly and truthfully in your essays. Now, for those who think that's not easy, don't worry, we've got you covered. We have a workshop next week on how to write effective essays and how to choose good references and good reference letters. So do tune in for that. Details for that will be sent your way soon.
Thank you so much, Kyron. And again, thank you so much, everyone. We are so grateful to have you today with us, and you could take out time for doing this because students not only learned how to apply for the program and what is the application process like, but there were like some very valuable pearls of wisdom which all the speakers shared with us today. So, thank you so much once again. So now, as I mentioned that during the session, we have been collecting questions coming in from the students. I think considering the paucity of time, we'll just take a very few quick questions. Uh, I see a lot of students have been asking questions regarding the aptitude test. So there is this one question from Omkar where he asked, is the aptitude test the elimination test? Like, is there certain cutoff to be eligible for the next interview? Kyron, I would request if you could please answer that.
Sure, Ayushi. So the aptitude test is not an elimination test. You do not need to score minimum marks or score in the test. It is just one of the components, or one of the parameters that will be taken into considering while shortlisting students. However, saying that, yes, the higher you score, the better your chances are of you moving to the next round. And if you score lower, then the chances are lower.
Thank you, Kyron. I hope Omkar, along with you, other students have also got answer to this. I see Ashi has asked a very good question. And for the benefit of everyone, I would, ask Kyron if you could please answer this. That what is expected out of me if I get selected for the Reliance Foundation postgraduate scholarships?
Sure. So all scholars are expected, of course, to comply with the terms and conditions that we lay down for the scholarship. Two of the basic expectations to be met is that a scholar needs to maintain academic excellence. By that we mean they need to maintain a CGPA of currently 7.5 or higher in order to keep availing of the scholarship funds. And the second main expectation is that they have to be enrolled in the same or an eligible degree program throughout the course of the program.
Thank you, Kyron. That really helps. I mean, now students would be able to, set up a perspective to this. And I think considering this, and also the paucity of time, I would request students that if you have any more questions which you think have not been answered during the session, please visit our website. And also you can ask questions on the chat board. You can also call the helpline number. So please do not hesitate to do that and reach out to us. I would also request that do not forget that your application closes by 14th of February 2023. And I would also want to say that we have an application workshop on how to write effective reference letters and essays because we see a lot of questions flowing in for that. So need not worry, you will hear from the experts in the field. This workshop shall happen on the 18th of January. So please tune in to hear and also register already if you haven't. We absolutely look forward to seeing you there. And for the benefit of everyone who have joined us today, I would also say that there is one more webinar tomorrow on introducing Reliance Foundation Undergraduate Scholarships Program and application walkthrough. So please do tell your juniors, your friends, your peers, and your fellows who are in their first year undergraduate courses to know more about this webinar, to go on the website and register, and please encourage them to apply. And I absolutely look forward to see you all very, very soon. All the best for your applications, and bye bye. Have a good evening.